All right, come on, let's get this cracking.
It's me. Can you picture this? Baby, David, good looking, baby. See why I got another. I see y'all. Yeah. Can you picture this? You know, rocking with CYPT. Podcast of the D with Clay and the crew. It's like my CTV. They be giving game out so much, you could take the same route. Especially if you take risks, this YouTube, you make sense.
This program has been brought to you by Whiff, the Wash and Fine Fragrance Detergent, guaranteed to make your custom garments smell fresher and last longer. Imagine wrapping yourself in a cloud of freshness every single time that you use Whiff, the Wash and Fine Fragrance Detergent. Your clothes and your nose will thank you. Yo, what up, though? What up, though? You are listening to the CYPT podcast, the podcast of the strongest, fastest, most powerful print shop on this side of the Eastern Seaboard. I am Jess Niles.
It's your boy Lance.
I'm Clay.
And we have with us Abcde of Quality Control, and I'm just so happy to have you here with us.
Thank you, thank you.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
So, it's the holiday tomorrow.
Oh, hell yeah.
The holiday.
Not everybody celebrates this holiday, right?
It's not. They don't?
No, but where I'm from, shit, we get down, we do concerts in the forest.
It's definitely, I don't know, it's been going on for a while.
Yeah,
A while.
It ain't popping off enough yet.
You don't think so?
Not yet. I think that as the states start to get more legal, more people are going to take initiative to start doing
This is a very
events.
green state.
I know, but check it out. Like, look online. There ain't much going on.
I mean, the rules are kind of always changing, though.
When did this holiday start? Do anybody know the date?
I mean, I don't know for
Anybody.
sure, but shoot.
420 is what we're talking about.
I think when Bob Marley was alive.
Was it Bob Marley?
I mean, I don't know. I think it's just a stoner's holiday.
I know Hash Bash, I think it started something to do in Ann Arbor, but I'm not too clear on all the details.
Yeah.
But it's around the same time.
Hash Bash is in the beginning of April.
Yeah. So quality control. How do we get started? How did you start with quality control? And what does quality control do?
Quality control is a cannabis consultation / event planner. We're kind of like a one-stop shop. We help you get your medical cards. We help educate you. We educate you on the quality of the product you're consuming. On top of the beginners who don't know where to start, don't know what they're looking for, we educate them on that. And then we also provide the medical products to the people looking for medical benefits also.
Now, how did you get started doing this?
I got started so I used to work in dispensaries. I was their operations coordinator.
Okay.
I taught what they call bud tenders, but in my opinion, they're not a bud tender because they're not tending to the buds. They're just giving the prescriptions, you know what I'm saying? The bud tenders are the growers, the ones tending to the bud itself.
Right.
But anyway, I would teach the bud tenders in the dispensary what to do, how to treat, how to work with the customers, product knowledge, help organize the dispensaries in order for a good, easy flow.
Abcde, I got one question. How did you learn all this?
I love weed. Nah, for real. I'll take it back a little. I am from Hawaii. And in Hawaii, weed is like a way of life. So I grew up eating it as a kid. My parents cooked with it. My mom made perfume and sold perfumes. My grandpa made medicine. My dad grew. We used to go help him water the plants in the bushes. And when the choppers were flying, we had to run out there and hide it with trees and stuff. Like, I grew up, this is my life. In 5th grade, I started stealing my dad's weed and smoking it with my friends in the stairwell at school. So I always said, I'm going to grow old, I'm going to smoke weed, and I'm going to work with weed one day. And when I moved to Michigan is when I, found my dream job.
So that explains it all. Abcde, you have such a unique name for y'all that don't know. How do you spell Abcde?
My name is spelled Abcde.
Abcde.
First 5 letters of the
So
alphabet.
your parents were in deep thought when they thought.
Nah, they were straight up some stoners,
Yeah.
real surfer
So-
island
so-
people. But they had a skateboarder friend who knew Tony Hawk, and they were like, I don't know, they got the name somewhere in the skate world.
Oh, okay.
And he said he wasn't gonna have kids, and he gave my parents the name, and my dad was like,
This is
Let's
it.
do it. Let's do it. And then you have a son or daughter.
My son.
What's his?
So my son's name, in order to carry on my name, when I was little, my mom said she came up with this name, and it's Qrstuv, and it's pronounced Kirstov.
Kirstov.
And I was a little girl, and I was like, I love that. I'm going to name my first kid Kirstov to continue my alphabets.
That is so unique.
So I'm Abcde, and my son is Kirstov, and yeah.
Why was Michigan why did you decide Michigan from Hawaii?
I didn't. At the time that I left, Michigan was the open door of opportunity. So I went wherever the door was open, and somebody had opened their home to me, and I came to make some changes. I met some friends while I was looking for weed because I was like, dang, I need to smoke.
Right.
And they were like, well, we need some workers. Do you have knowledge? I was like, oh, yeah. They said, we need some help in the grow. I said, shoot, I'm down. First job in Michigan, $20 an hour working with weed. I was like, oh, I'm in heaven.
Right up my alley.
I'm in heaven.
Right. All right.
I'm still in Michigan. I've been here 7 years, 8 years now. Yeah.
Is there a big difference between the weed back in Hawaii and here in Michigan?
There is and there isn't. It's a hit or miss. Hawaii is more outdoor grows.
Okay.
So because we got salt water and outdoor grow, beautiful soil, our product comes out really dense and sticky. Whereas the product here, if it's grown outdoor, it's only seasonal. So it doesn't come out as dense and sticky. Sometimes it's a little drier and more stringy because there's not enough sun. Now, the indoor grows, if you do it right, you're able to imitate the best environment for your plant.
Okay.
So it's like I said, a hit or miss. Some growers are able to imitate the natural environment in order for their product to come out super dope, but not everybody takes the time and spends the money in order to have a great
Quality product.
Quality product.
Do you think like back home in Hawaii is like more organic, more good for you, the health wise, and here, I guess you're growing it in like laboratories or wherever you grow it.
I could say, yeah.
Chemicals or
He don't trust none of this stuff. Now, he don't trust none of this that's
Well,
out
if you
right
trust
now.
any product, trust my product.
Yours.
well,
He don't trust none of this right now.
when it got so like accessible, like everybody was like growing it, everybody had product. I'm like, wait a minute. And they just letting you do it. Like it's a catch to it. So I was like, so I just quit.
Yeah, I get it. It's really, really hard to find good product. But when you don't know better, you don't do better, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people right now are smoking, or not even just smoking, edible-wise, vaping, whatever, however they're consuming. If they haven't had better, they're not doing better.
Are there dangers in marijuana? Could you like get a hold of some marijuana and it like just mess you up, throw you all out of whack, and maybe kill you?
Well, there is no history of anybody dying.
Well, I know
smoking marijuana.
We did a shirt for a guy that his friend laced the marijuana with fentanyl.
Yep. So I was just going to say that nowadays, because nobody is growing quality product, they're trying to make the product stronger. And I've recently heard that too, that now people are tainting it with fentanyl, which is sad because it's not necessary. It's not necessary. Fentanyl and anything ain't necessary. But I've heard of that. And I've heard that they have found some cartridges that was laced with fentanyl.
I do believe that. I believe
Yeah.
that.
I believe that. Any concentrated form of anything would be easier to lace. Now, a bud itself, I don't know how they would lace the weed unless they're spraying it with the fentanyl. But if somebody can't tell that it was sprayed with some nasty chemical or something smelling
This
funky,
don't taste right.
fentanyl don't smell good.
I don't know what it smells like, but
If you can't tell that your weed don't smell like weed, then you shouldn't be smoking at all.
And we always have this argument, but I do want to ask your point of view on it. Do you think marijuana has progressed or regressed in our current state? Some people believe that it used to be a lot better a long time ago. I disagree.
No.
A lot of people believe that. I just don't see how. for years they've been trying to get better and better and better. How do you regress like that? But I want to know your thoughts on that.
So I understand why you feel that way, but that's probably because you know where to shop for your product because you trust the person supplying it, right?
Right.
Whether, you know what dispensary to go to. You know who to go get your stuff from. So you know you got good stuff every time. But I do feel like it has gone down.
Word!
Yep. So think about it. When COVID hit, a lot of people didn't have money. So a lot of people went to using cheaper products in their grow, which made their grow turn to shit. Like their product ain't coming out like the quality it used to because they're using less quality product, cheaper products.
Damn.
And then also because of COVID and what was going on with shipping overseas, a lot of the good chemicals and things you would put in, they stopped shipping them. So our supply shops wasn't supplied with the good stuff and they only had the shitty stuff. And so people I know a lot of growers who actually stopped growing because they made less money. And then the market got shot when COVID
I was gonna
hit.
say I know growers that stopped because the market was shot right.
Yeah.
So it got really saturated because
It got really saturated.
It was like 50 marijuana shops up
Yeah.
and down 8 Mile.
It got really saturated and nobody was growing for quality. They just was growing to make money.
Quantity.
Nobody cared how it came out. Nobody cared what they were growing. They just was growing and selling it, right? But then when the market used to be like really super expensive.
Yeah.
Now it's cheap. You can find an ounce for $125, $100.
I seen a sign that
Dispensaries
said
sell ounces for $100.
on the freeway, it said $45 for an ounce. I said, no.
Don't you smoke that. Don't you smoke it. Don't you smoke that.
So if you think about it, now that the product is so cheap, you know the product is cheap because it's not as superior as it used to be. So that's why I feel like, it regressed because, you know what I mean? Like
So where do you see this whole market going? Is it gonna like the smaller guys are gonna like disappear and like bigger companies are gonna come in and like just like take over? You'll be able to go to the store and get a pack of Kush.
No, I think it's gonna. What I'm hoping, and I think what's gonna happen is because we see this all the time. We saw this when it was flooded with dispensaries, right? And then they cut down on everybody and started shutting everybody down. Right. So then you saw less growers and better quality product because now the dispensaries were held accountable to the product they carried. It had to be tested. It had to meet a certain standard in order to be sold and approved by the state. So you saw good product. And then they opened up the market again. So you see the product at a high, and then it gets cheap, and then it gets expensive again, and now it's cheap again. I think that what's going to happen is all the small-time growers are going to stop because now they're not making their money, and the growers who are really serious about it, who really do put their time and attention to grow quality product, are going to be able to expand and step up. Because I think what's going to happen is it's going to go from just buying weed and having weed to now knowing who's the grower and I want this grower's weed and I want this grower's weed. I think that's what's going to happen is that it's going to be about the grower and not just about the plant.
Do you think it's hard for a newcomer coming in to start now? Is it like, nah,
No.
it's too late?
You missed the gold
You
rush.
missed the gold rush. What should I do? If I wanted to start right now, would I be wasting my time? Or what could you tell me to do to make some money, be profitable if I wanted to like start? I know you was mentioning it earlier before we was talking.
Don't start a grow.
If you
want to invest into the industry, don't start a grow because it's time consuming. And if you're not invested in it time wise and knowledge wise, you just growing just to grow. Mm-hmm. Invest your money in places where there's not a big market. So, for instance, concentrates, moon rock. You don't see those things in the stores, but there's a big demand for it because right now it's just a novelty. When you see moon rock, everybody's like, "Wow, you got moon rock." Mm-hmm. But
so tell me what for those like nows that don't know what moon rock is.
So anybody trying to invest now, what? I think you should invest in the manufacturing license, whether it's manufacturing concentrates, because you can work with the growers to get the product that they can't sell, and then you can You can turn it into a concentrate, and then you have so much more to do with it. Edibles. Edibles is a good market to get into because not everybody likes the smell of marijuana. So they might be a working person who...
I mean, I'm sorry. Keep going. I'm sorry about that.
I mean, they don't even allow you to smell like weed when you go into a doctor's office nowadays. You cannot walk into the courthouse smelling like weed. They tell you get out. So, you know what I mean? For stoners who have to go into places like that, shoot, eat an edible and you straight. You can be there high and they won't even know. So I personally am not an edible person.
It's too much.
My tummy don't mess with it.
It's too much. I can't. That edible is so strong and it lasts so long, and it's a big difference between ingesting and smoking.
Yep.
It's completely different. I don't want that
when you don't want it to hit.
Sometimes I don't want that ingested. Sometimes I don't want it to last that long, and that's why edibles. That's why I'm not that much of an edible person.
You know why that is, right? It's the digesting system. It's the digestion part that makes it hit so hard. You're eating an edible, and your body's digesting it, and it just hits you one time, and then it's sitting there while your body is breaking it down. Unless you throw it up, you're still going to feel those effects. Versus ingesting it smoking-wise, it's going straight to the brain, straight to the bloodstream. You feel high, depending on how potent the product is. It lasts a good long while. And depending on the strain, it'll give you the body buzz or the head high.
The euphoria.
Edibles is usually going to give you a body buzz because
it's
being digested into your system.
Tell me about like the two main types of marijuana is sativa and indica. What does a sativa do versus an indica?
So sativas, I tell everybody, even beginners, even people who've been smoking a long time, sativas, S for sun. Sativa is the upper. That's the one that you can function, work off of, clean your house type of smoke. It also gives you the happy high. Now, people who deal with depression would benefit from smoking a sativa. It would uplift their spirit. It gives you that type of euphoric high. Indica in the couch. That's going to put you in the couch. It's going to make you have that body buzz, heavy body buzz. It's going to make you relax. You're going to get lazy. You're going to want to munch. So that's the two differences. It's the upper and the downer.
Which one makes you like paranoid? Like, oh,
usually the sativas for people who deal with that type of anxiety.
That's the person.
So
it's the person.
It's the person.
Yeah.
So have you smoke on a regular basis, right?
Yes. I test a lot of weed on a regular basis.
You test a lot of weed. Now, have you ever got paranoid?
I did get paranoid, but it was my environment that made me paranoid.
Was it a sativa or indica? Do you know? Or
at the time, I wasn't educated and I didn't know, but I would say it was a sativa.
So sativa.
Yeah.
So okay.
Because the indicas is the ones that make my eyes shut. I get lazy and I relax and chill. I usually smoke an indica every day. Okay. And it keeps me calm, keeps me happy.
More indica person.
I'm more of an indica hybrid person.
Hybrid.
Yeah.
So
indica hybrid because most times it's really hard to find a pure indica. It's usually nowadays the strains are crossed and bred so much that they're breeding indica with a sativa, so it becomes a hybrid. And the hybrids are either indica dominance or sativa dominance. Whereas back in the day, you were either getting an indica or a sativa. Now, because they've lost those mom and pop strains, they're breeding clones in order to create new strains because they don't got seeds of the old school stuff anymore. So now most things these days are going to be a hybrid with a dominance to it. Unless you can find somebody growing some granddaddy perps, some, Bubba Kush and stuff, that's going to be your pure indicas. Or if you find somebody growing green crack, that's a sativa, but nowadays the green crack is a hybrid, not just a pure sativa. You got to look for like strawberry cough or Harley Quinn or something.
Where do they get these names from? They just
a grower just coming up with something, for whatever reason. It might be something they're in, or it could be the effects they got off of trying their product.
So if say like if you grew something, are you able to just like name it like anything you want, or is it like regulations? You can't do that, or
no, you shouldn't. You shouldn't, because your product already has a name, because you didn't create that seed. Now, if you took a seed and grew it one plant, and then you got a seed of another plant, and then you bred it, crossbred with the male and female, you let it hermaphrodite, you let it seed your product, and you breed the plants.
So you can call it what you want.
You can create a new strain, but you have to do your homework, because there's so much new strains that have been created. You may just be recreating somebody's strain. Somebody already might have crossed gelato and runts.
So do you get a patent on that, or like what?
You can. I mean, the big growers in Cali, I think they have something setting their strain, their new strain. But other than that, it's kind of just like a breeder's rights, bragging rights of the breeder themselves. Because you got companies who just breed plants and crossbreed and experiment and things like that. You got growers who only grow one certain type of plant. Like some people, especially here in Michigan, some people only grow Gorilla Glue. Now, if they grew Gorilla Glue and they had something else growing in there and it sprayed the plant, and then that plant seeded and you grew a new plant, they could name it something else, but you have to make sure that nobody already created that. Yeah. Okay. Then you have the right to rename it. Now, if you don't tell nobody that you're doing it and you just naming your own, I mean, that's what's going on in the market right now. Anyway, everybody just throwing weed in any color bag, any bag, just to get
telegraph crack.
It's telegraph crack. Telegraph crack. Where do you think this rise in CBD came from, or has it always been a thing? I don't feel it's always been a thing, but I really feel like it's been on the uprise lately. There's a lot more CBD products out there now, and I feel like a long time ago we really didn't even know what CBD was.
I feel like CBD has been around longer, actually, on the legal side.
On the legal side?
It has been an awareness on CBD more than THC, because that is the only thing that the government allowed to be legal, is CBD, high percentages of CBD. It has to have no traces of THC in order for it to be federally.
It has to have no THC in it?
Yeah, but what people don't understand is that the plant itself has THC in it. So it's just a small percentage, which makes them feel like it ain't enough to be considered. There's enough THC.
And what's the difference between, because CBD has a small percentage of THC, what's the difference between CBD and like ruderalis weed? Because isn't that a very low percentage THC too? Like really small?
What is ruderalis weed?
Ruderalis, it's
is that the fake weed they call?
No, there's like sativa, indica, and the hybrids, and ruderalis is supposed to be like outdoor, really, really low. Like no one really buys it. It's a very low. Okay. No one really even does anything with it.
Kind of similar to hemp. Hemp is like a sister.
Boo boo.
Yeah, kind of like that. That's why I was asking the same with CBD, because I don't really get a high from it.
Yeah, so CBD, because it doesn't have high percentages of THC, you won't feel a high effect. It's not going to hit you in that, it would be what people say a psychedelic type of feeling. Mm-hmm. THC is what gives you that. A CBD is not going to give you that. It's going to give you that body buzz, or you're not going to feel any effect at all, because most CBD products out in the stores, the ones you find in gas stations and like CVS, they really don't have enough CBD in it for you to even feel it
at all.
If you're going to look for some CBD products for medicinal benefits, and that's where the big difference is. I believe CBD has been in the market for a long time because of the medical benefits.
Okay.
CBD, weed period, has shown very, very large benefits to people fighting cancer. People who deal with PTSD, people who have seizures, people who have tumors before it even becomes cancerous. It has shown to break it down, but people think that it's a CBD product that's doing it. No, it's a combination. THC is what fights off the cancer cells.
No way.
Yes, it's not the CBD
they
fighting
definitely
the cancer
it's CBD.
cells. It's the THC, which is why they tell people who have cancer, smoke weed. People, I don't want to smoke. It's going to hurt my lungs. You already hurting. You have cancer. What are you talking about? Yeah. But okay, I understand. Not everybody is open to smoking. If that's the case, then do Rick Simpson oil.
I love Rick Simpson
Rick
oil.
Simpson oil is a perfect blend of the most potent CBD and THC combination, because that's what Rick Simpson did. He took the most potent indicas because they have the highest levels of CBD and high levels of THC. But people think, oh no, CBD.
How do you consume
CBD.
Rick Simpson?
It usually comes in a syringe because it's in a concentrated form in order for it to be the highest percentages.
Okay.
You put it under your tongue. It's actually the best way. It tastes nasty. It tastes like eating weed.
So it has to go through your bloodstream just
Yes.
like an edible,
Yep.
and it takes a minute to.
Yep. So I tell people, if you don't like the taste of weed and you don't want to put it under your tongue, put it in your coffee, put it in your tea, put it in something that you will swallow. That's the best way.
No, CBD is not as readily available like THC is. You can't find good CBD like.
Now they have nurseries or growers who only grow CBD, high percentages CBD plants or strains. But like you said, it is hard to find.
Is it more expensive?
It is more expensive because it's not available. But you can go to a gas station nowadays and they will sell you CBD buds because it's legal and tell you that it's THC.
But it's not the real thing.
But it's not going to get you high. It's going to give you like a nice buzz and you're going to feel like, oh, I get high off of that. But it's because the CBD is giving you that body buzz. It's not going to give you that psychological buzz, you know.
So maybe I should get in the market and sell some CBD because it ain't saturated.
But the only people looking for CBD is people who look for medicinal benefits, which is why CBD smoking wise hasn't popped off. People smoking it want to get high and feel high and have fun or get lazy. The people looking for medicinal
So
benefits,
there's no CBD.
They're not looking for CBD
You
smoke.
can smoke. Or do they have CBD you can
they
smoke?
They do, but not a lot of people carry. Not a lot of dispensaries carry it, and if they do, it's coming from one supplier because it's hard to find suppliers who grow just CBD plants. Now, if you found a client who is looking for just specific CBD, like a company looking for just that, then you would have a good chance of growing CBD and making some money. But other than that, I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah. If you're trying to do something with CBD, just buy the CBD oil and then create something with it. Yeah.
That Rick Simpson oil was something else.
Yep.
When I got here because I was working in a dispensary next door, and I remember we had first got our batch of CBD oil, and they said, yeah, you could eat it, and my one man's ate it, but we didn't know how potent it is. Like when you get it, you're just like, yeah, you just go. Yeah. So man, he ate so much. He took a nice glob of Rick Simpson on. He said he didn't know whether to throw up or go to sleep. Like it was so strong, but it was only because of how much he took. I wanted to ask you were saying about growing or what you could do to get into the market. Now, there are certain people, at least that I know, most of the growers I know, have a record. Most of the ones I know have a record, which is it's stopping them. No, for real, like that, and they grow amazing stuff. Like my main grower has a record, and it's the only thing stopping him from what he feels like is advancing in the industry. Is there anything he can do about that, or it's just
partner with somebody who can find somebody that he trusts, or financially invest right, and partner with somebody who can get the license? Because right now, that's one of the biggest setbacks for a lot of people, especially in this city.
So it's really hard to get a license as it is, but when you got a felony, it's almost impossible.
I wouldn't recommend anybody trying to get a license unless they do their homework. Like, make sure your spouses are cleared, because even if your spouse's record is not cool, you can get denied. It ain't worth losing $6,000 for an application and never being allowed to apply again.
So once you pay that $6,000, you don't get that back.
Whether you approved or denied. And from what I know before, once you get denied, you cannot apply again for that certain license.
Damn.
But now I don't know. I haven't I haven't gone and checked on the system because I'm like, they on some BS. They only really trying to help certain people. You know what I mean? They're not trying to help our people.
What are the requirements? What are some of the requirements that you got to have to get a license? You
have to have a certain amount of money in the bank that has been there. You have to have great credit. Not good credit, great credit. You have to have a plan. So whatever license you're going for. So nowadays, it is easier for somebody to invest into the industry. Again, do your due diligence, check yourself, check your record, because you don't want to waste that money. Once you apply, you denied or not, you don't get that money back. You don't get to apply for that license again. But now they came out with smaller license for individuals to apply in order to have small businesses within the industry. I want to say, I think there's 6 different licenses that you and I can go and get. And it could be anywhere. It's like owning a dispensary. One of them is a small business license. Like I was telling you guys, you can grow, manufacture, and sell in the same building. But that is the requirement for that license. That building has to have your grow, you process your product, and you sell it from that building.
What's the micro one?
That's that micro business.
That's the micro one.
Yep. So that, if anybody's hoping to get a dispensary, that would be the closest thing to getting a dispensary and being approved with the minimum of money and credit and that type of background check. For a dispensary, you gotta do a lot. You gotta fill a lot more requirements for that one.
Is having a dispensary still regulated in a way where like you can still be federally punished?
Yeah. Well, no, I don't think so, because I want to say they did lessen it from being a class 1 to now I think it's a 3. So it's not
it's not a federal.
It is still federally illegal, but it's not a class 1.
So what about like banking with dispensaries? How does that work?
Banking still, the banks still
Are they still not doing it?
Business with
So you
cannabis
just got
industries.
So you can't keep your money in the bank from the cannabis business.
I think what they started doing is doing like umbrella companies, like a middleman who works with the bank, and you work with that man, that middleman. And
also, you cannot have a firearm on the premises when you got all this money and
Yeah, but you can have a hired security team. But I'm not sure if they can be armed, strapped or not armed. Yeah, I'm not sure. Because of my own setbacks with that whole law stuff, I haven't continued looking into the qualifications for a dispensary and all of those, because I'm like, I ain't trying to deal with that. I don't need to know.
Just making your money like you make it. Okay.
Doing it where I can without having to deal with them telling me no, getting where you fit in,
Yeah. Speaking of that, did you bring any cool things with you?
Oh yeah, I brought a lot of good stuff.
You bought a lot of cool stuff?
Yeah, so I didn't finish telling you guys. I started this business because when I worked for dispensaries, we had a client come in who came in for medicinal product, or like he smoked weed, but he was looking for it for medical benefits. He needed it to relieve his back pain. I wasn't there when he came in the shop, and the workers sold him something just off the top, like, this is what we was selling today, this is what we needed to sell. They just sold it to him, not trying to help him for whatever he needed. He came in the next day crying. Oh. Like, he was in pain. He was so disappointed. He wanted a refund. He brought back the weed. He was like, I am so disappointed. I never experienced this in my life. I couldn't sleep. I was in pain. I don't know what they sold me. So I looked and,
Did you say he brought the weed back?
He brought the weed back.
I've never heard of this.
I refunded the man. Because I understood, I was there educating the people, teaching them what to do, how to do their jobs, and they didn't do their job. They gave this man who came in, and that was back when we was still only medical patients could walk into the dispensary back then. So when they gave him the product just off the tip of, this is what we need to sell, and didn't think to ask him, what do you need, or look into his history at what he gets every time, they just sold him whatever. I refunded him his money because I felt hurt that we didn't do our job. You know what I'm saying? But that's where it hurt my heart, because my managers came to me and kind of checked me for that. And I was like, look, we're supposed to be supplying him his medicine. They gave him something that hurt him. Like, why am I going to not refund him his money? They should have looked in his record and saw that this is what he comes in for. But no, they gave him something else because y'all said to sell it to him. So I quit because I was like, you know what? I'm about educating people and helping people. I'm going to help my patients have what they need and help them find what they need, not just sell them whatever, because I'm trying to make that dollar.
Money. Right.
It wasn't about the money for me because of the way I grew up. I respect the plant in a different way. You know, I'm not just abusing it. It's not recreational for me. It's a way of life. So I understand.
Control was born.
So quality control was born because I'm about the quality over the quantity.
So you got recreation and medicinal. So people can just go in and now and buy the same marijuana, whether it's recreational or how does that work? Whether it's recreational or medicinal, how do they?
So now anybody can go into a dispensary and a medical patient can buy the same product, or a recreational product person can buy the same product as a medical patient. The only difference is now is the money you pay. You get a bigger discount if you have a medical card. If you are a medical patient and you are going in looking for medical product, I suggest that you ask the bud tenders for a specific product. If you're going in there thinking that the shelf says, oh, this is medical grade, blah, 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 it's not always, they don't always trust the labels. The people working behind the counter should have product knowledge, and they should be able to tell you that this one is for pain relief. This one is for anxiety. This one is for depression. And if they're giving you something for depression and you're looking for pain relief, it ain't going to help because the depression one is going to give you a high sativa effect, and the pain relief, you're looking for an indica. So
are all dispensaries, are you able to go in any dispensary now without a license and just walk in there?
No, there's still some in Detroit that are only medical. They haven't received their recreational license yet.
So you got to get a license for that.
So I believe they recently started handing out recreational license. So there's a lot of them that now have been able to open their doors to just anybody. But before they passed that, it was only certain counties that would allow it. Wayne County wouldn't allow recreational usage or recreational purchasing in a dispensary.
Okay.
But you know what? There's a lot of dispensaries out there.
That's a lot.
That's some cereal treats.
Yeah, so a part of what quality control does is we support our local businesses also. So where I don't
All the time.
all the time.
Here go your stickers you ordered.
All the time.
Oh yeah. Y'all been supplying me my labels for how many years now?
A long time.
But so we're like a one-stop shop now because I supply our patients with whatever they're looking for. We give you anything from the rubs and the lotions and the pills, even CBD water if you a person who just want to try CBD water. I can get you those things. But for the most part, I cater to the recreational users, and we get you anything from gummies, edibles, cereal treats, Kool-Aid, whether it's liquid or powder. I brought some of that too.
Oh, yeah.
And weed. But our product quality is where we differ from a lot of other people. We have a high standard on the quality of product that we put on our menu. So
now, how are you judging this quality? What is your standard? What is quality control standard?
So quality control standard. Now, nobody knows this because I haven't pushed it out there yet, but I created what I call a 10-point sesh. And a 10-point sesh is a 10-point system for people to grade their weed in order to meet the standards of meet my standards of quality. And where did my phone go? Let me share with you guys a little bit. So my 10-point sesh, I call it 10-point sesh, every stoner's basic rating system for quality weed. Now, when I smoke weed and I'm testing the weed in order to figure out what I'm putting on my menu, I am looking at every single piece of that bud. Does it have seeds? Is it stringy, airy? Is it dense? Does it smell good? Does it look good? Is it visually appealing? These are all the things that I'm looking at because my buyers are going to look at it and literally go off of looks first. Then they're going to smoke it and be like, oh, okay, that's good. But If you are shopping anywhere else and you don't know if you're smoking quality weed or not, I recommend you check out my 10-point sesh, because this is where I grade my weed. So the first one is smell and aroma. Okay, so there's six different things to check out on your weed. The first one is smell or aroma. If it smells good, that's a big thing. If it don't got to smell, people are turned off. They're like, oh, it don't smell like nothing, I don't want to smoke it. If it smells like chemicals, I don't want to smoke it. So 0 points if it has no smell, if it smells like mold, if it smells old or waterlogged, or the presence of chemicals. Now, a lot of people don't know to look for these things because they don't know how to identify it. So this will help them identify and understand that, dang, that does smell like mold. Or, oh, I do smell like basement water. Some people aren't looking at their weed and are thinking about those things. Or it does smell funny like chemicals.
Right.
If you smell any of that, don't smoke that.
Right.
First thing first, your nose tells you what you want to eat, right? If it don't smell good, you don't want to eat it.
Right.
Sometimes it might not look good, but it might taste good. So the second one is visuals. So visuals, if it looks scraggy, leafy, it looks like Reggie's, does it look burnt in color? Is it brown? Do you see mold? Do you see seeds? Do you see stems? These are all turnoffs on weed. So these are all the things, like, I really, really break it down. And if it doesn't meet 7 points or 8 points in my judgment, it will not make my menu.
Can I get that?
Yeah, oh yeah. Shoot, I'm going to get this out on Google so everybody who smokes can have the opportunity of just having something to reference when they're smoking, because a lot of people aren't doing that. They're just smoking like, oh, it's weed. Weed is weed. No, weed is not weed. If you ever smoke something and you feel shitty after, the weed may have been old. It may have mold, or it may have bacteria or something. Right. You know what I mean? People don't think about that. Now, we should be able to trust our dispensaries because they have to meet a certain standard. Everything's supposed to be tested. Back in the day, it wasn't. You had more potent weed. Nowadays, everything's tested. The stuff that are more potent aren't meeting the qualifications because it has additives. Excuse me. They're finding things that they added to it to make it stronger. So they're not approving it to be sold in a dispensary. So street weed is sometimes better than a dispensary weed.
You do hear that a lot.
Yeah,
you do hear that.
Oh, yeah.
No,
I mean, shoot, you said it to yourself. You have a grower.
Oh, listen. I can't find a dispensary to beat him yet.
Me too.
I can't find one. That grower, like, everyone has that one.
I don't shop in dispensaries.
I can't find a dispensary to beat him yet. I haven't.
So the street man still got a job.
The street man can always have a job.
Always. He
in
just
this
got that rap
industry.
sheet.
In this industry.
Texture. What do you said? Smell, visuals, texture. What do you mean by texture?
Texture is when you feel that bud right in your hand. Do you ever feel like grainy, like there's sand or grainy stuff on your finger?
Oh, shit.
That's a no-no. It should be sticky. If it's grainy like that and it feels like you got sand between your fingers.
Like that brittle
like
stuff?
Yeah, like it feels like sand. It feels like, or like sugar between your fingers. If it's not sticky, then that means something was added to that and it dried it out.
So sometimes, like, sticky weed is not always good, is it? Because, like, when we were in Jamaica, it kept going out. Like,
so sticky weed isn't dried enough. So if it's sticky but not dried enough, then it won't stay lit because it's still wet. The best thing to do is if you ever have sticky weed and it's not staying lit, stick it in a brown paper bag. And put it above the light or something.
So that's how the weed is over in Hawaii.
In Hawaii.
As well.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And that is a very important thing that a lot of growers don't do, especially here because they just trying to grow and make the sale. They'll grow, they'll cut down, and they'll hang for 10 days. After that 10 days, they're selling it in bulk to anybody who's buying. Now, the product ain't ready to smoke. Now, you can smoke it after 10 days of drying, but it ain't cured. So you're not letting it reach its maximum potential. What I do, go ahead. What I do is when I get product, I stick all the product in glass jars, and I let it sit, and I let it cure. And I slowly bring stuff out, and I keep a good rotation because I want my product to be superior. Like I need to uphold my quality.
Now, speaking of your
quality control.
Yeah, speaking of your product and quality, how does one get some of this quality control product? Website, just phone call. How do I
So
place
we
an
do
order?
have a menu. We are a delivery service, but for the most part, we do pop-ups, events, private parties, private consultation. You can hire us to pop up at your party. We will come with, I mean, depends on how big of a party. We'll come with the weed bar, the whole setup, and it'll be like a little mini dispensary.
Weed bar?
Stop shop at your party. The weed
That's
bar.
great. That's a great.
Not
Weed
the weed
bar?
bar downtown, but our own quality control weed
I
bar.
have not been there yet, and I keep hearing about it. But I would like to know about your weed bar.
Our weed bar will come fully stocked with many options. We come with everything from the paraphernalia, whether it's papers, wraps, and bongs, to
Backwards.
big whole ounce joints for the whole party to light up.
You'll make
I can
one?
cater your whole party. I can cater your food to be edible, or I can cater your edible table and come with chocolate fountains and Kool-Aid fountains. And I do infused snow cones, infused ice cream,
Yep.
and popsicles. We got everything.
So it'll be like that episode on Snowfall where you had the chocolate.
Oh yeah, when they had that fountain.
Yeah.
The whole
Oh, but
party.
everybody ain't gonna be
tastes
tripping
good.
like that.
What's wrong with me?
But we'll even bring the smoke machines, or we got this little, we got like we do gas stations and everything. We'll come with everything. We can do anything at your party. I even do cannabis weddings. Cannabis weddings. Hell yeah. Like I will make your centerpieces with plants in it. Like it will have a
That is amazing.
That
bud
is
in
just
your
so beautiful.
centerpieces. Your bouquet will have buds in your bouquet.
I can see that.
Like-
I can see you getting a lot of business.
Yeah,
Believe it or not, I get more business out of state.
really.
I am in operation in 10 different states,
Are they all green?
and they're all green.
They're
No,
all
I'll
green?
take that back. One is only medical.
Okay. Okay.
But for the most part, yeah, it's all green, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, I travel and I go and attend and do parties.
Because you are
pop-ups.
always coming and going. Like,
Yeah.
y'all are always coming
Yeah.
and going. Whenever y'all getting, like, a big thing of stickers, like, yeah, there's a convention or something like that, y'all really hit the road. Y'all,
Yep. And a lot of times I'm following conventions because they don't have what we have, like the infused snow cone. Nobody's doing that. That's like something we came up with, you know, and we're testing the waters, and it hit really good last year. So this year I'll be coming out more. You'll see me around the city popped up
All right.
with infused snow cones. I mean, it'll say Hawaiian snow cones, but now you know if you're listening. Hawaiian snow cones offer infused snow cones.
Okay. All right. All right.
I really want to
I mean, we even do waffle sticks. You saw my
Yeah. No, I
you
had
guys
I've
did
had
my
the
flyer of waffle sticks. Waffle sticks, we infuse waffle sticks too. Yep.
Amazing.
Popcorn,
food. Nah, I've definitely had the food before. I would like to see some of your.
chocolate chip pretzels.
Are these the new ones?
Yeah, these are the new ones. Kool-Aid, we do dry Kool-Aid and liquid Kool-Aid. When I'm traveling, I usually take the dry ones because my customers are always traveling also. So it's easier for them to just pour it into their bottled water and be on the go.
How many milligrams is in this?
So everything I carry will always be 100 milligrams or more.
Yes. I mean,
Yeah.
word?
Yeah. I'll always be 100 milligrams or more, and that's just to meet the standard of my quality, you know? Like, I will never sell something that I won't try myself or I won't indulge myself. I will never sell something that isn't worth your money. You're always going to get what you spending, you know?
And you
can get your money's
do
worth.
you make all of your products or
No, I make some, but I work with a lot of other local business people who, like myself, may not be able to own the license, but they do what they do and they do their thing, you know. So I support a lot of local business. And then the ones that do have their license, like MKX, I carry a lot of MKX product, and they are a Michigan company. They do everything from vapes, concentrates, gummies. They started off with just vapes in the beginning, and they were a concentrate company, and they started branching off and doing other things. Now they got disposable vapes. My customers love these gummies, and their gummies are 200 milligrams and higher. So, you know, like they
What?
are right up my alley with quality.
This says 200 milligrams.
Yes.
She said, "Oh,
Quality all day. So, you know, I like to support local business. And, you know, And then I'm lazy sometimes. I don't want to cook all these damn edibles. So of course I'm gonna,
So you partner with the best companies.
I partner with the best of the best.
Okay, gotcha. You heard it right here
Yeah.
on the CYPT podcast. This has been Abcde. You've been great.
What's coming up next for quality control? Where do you see
Quality
yourself?
Control
Yeah.
actually is hosting a Sweetest Day event.
That's what I'm
So
talking
be on
about.
the lookout for this because it's exclusive. It's going to be a limited amount of people. It is catering couples, but you don't have to come with your significant other. You can come with your homeboy because it's going to be a different type of experience. We are hosting what we call, or are going to call, erotic exotic experience. It's called the erotic exotic experience.
Tell me a little bit about
That's
it.
such a good
So
name.
just a little
erotic
bit.
That's such a good name.
exotic experience is for anybody who loves weed. You're gonna come and get to smoke all the exotics. Have access to all the exotic products on top of the exotic women, which is where the erotic part comes in. It is adult only.
Of course.
Of course. It's going to be all-inclusive meal. You're going to have different experiences. I'll give you guys a little tip on just one because I don't want to give it all away. But it is going to be painting on my exotic product and women.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
Come and experience the erotic exotic experience. I don't want to give it all away, but the meal is going to be excellent, cooked by some badass cookers. I ain't even going to give it away. You got to come in order to find out who we working with and what to expect.
Oh, I'm so excited.
The menu is going to have some options. You can get either fish, chicken, or steak. I was thinking about lamb chops, but I was like, nah, more people like steak. So fish, chicken, or steak is going to be on the menu. You choose your meal when you purchase your ticket. There will be booths. There will be open seating. There's going to be live demonstrations on top of the painting. That's where the painting comes in, with the live demonstrations. The weed bar, open bar, bottomless drinks, of course, our beautiful edible table with the chocolate fountains and all of that good stuff. It's going to be an experience to remember, and definitely you don't want to miss this.
Oh.
Erotic exotic experience, everybody, with quality control.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Girls, ladies, treat your men right. You're going to go to Ocean Prime and spend $500. Shoot, come spend that with us and have a great time and good food.
Yes. All right.
No, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for having me.
I can't. Oh, more things.
Let's see all the products you brought.
We got everything from 420 spray. So, okay, check this out real quick. I created this bag called it's called the Dirty Detroit. Yep. It's called the Dirty Detroit, or the Dirty D. And in the Dirty Detroit bags is a safe kit for if you ever get pulled over by the popos, right? And you just smoked a blunt, or you got some weed on you and you feeling scary or whatever. You got your Dirty Detroit bag in your door where it has a 420 spray. It got mints, it got gum, it got hand wipes. It got a little card telling you put these eye drops in your eyes, suck on a mint, spray your car, and wipe your hands so you don't got no residue on your hands or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it is a safe kit for when you're riding dirty. So we got everything. We got everything for you.
Oh, that does smell good.
That smells good.
Yeah.
Damn, that's all the way over here.
It got 3 different scents.
It's strong as hell.
That is really good.
It's got that fresh, clean
smell.
Smell.
Mm-hmm.
Is it so? It neutralizes the odor. It just kills it.
And then believe it or not, when you spray that, like boom, right there, a cop won't even know if you just sprayed or not. He'll think that your car air freshener is just banging, but no, boom, that spray. All you need, and just a little goes a long way.
Yeah, see.
A long way.
Dirty Detroit bags, y'all.
What's your favorite product that you have?
My favorite product that I have is this. So I'm a joint chick. Okay, I got the Zigzag Man and Raws tattooed on my fingers, on my smoking fingers to be exact. My thumb and my
That's
pointer.
so awesome.
I am a joint chick all day. I don't mess with edibles except if I'm tasting. Concentrates get me too doped up, and then I sleep and waste time. So I can smoke a joint, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and I'll be straight.
So did you smoke before you came here on the podcast?
I did, of course.
Because you handle yourself very beautifully. You just have been a wonderful guest.
Thank you.
Can I see that?
I feel like sometimes I can't function if I don't smoke, or I might be on tip. You know what I mean? If you want to keep me happy,
Just edgy
and
as
smiling,
shit.
let me hit my joint before I work, and I'm good.
Absolutely. What? I mean.
All right.
That's why I work for myself, because ain't nobody can tell me, oh, you can't smoke weed. What?
How many strains you got right now?
I just brought one because I wasn't prepared.
No. I'm sorry. I don't mean like right now.
Menu,
Yeah. Like
right
normally,
now,
how many strains you guys have?
I usually have a menu of 10 different strains.
Good.
But because the market has gone to shit, it has been really hard to find the quality product that I look for. So right now I have 3. But it still meets the demand, and I always carry product to meet every customer's needs, whether you're looking for an ounce for $150 to $400. It really depends on your quality.
And what strains are you having?
There you go.
What strains do you have now?
Right now I have Fudge Ripple, Gelato 42, and Runts.
Fudge Ripple.
Fudge
What's that?
Ripple.
What is that across?
Actually, that is Fudge Ripple.
That I was gonna say that looks Fudge Ripple.
Fudge Ripple?
Yeah.
Okay.
That looks Fudge Ripple.
Yep. That is Fudge Ripple. Fudge Ripple is actually excellent. That is what I'm smoking right now.
What's the parent strains? What's the strains?
Indica?
It's an indica dominant, yes.
Okay.
Yep. I don't
Damn.
know. I didn't do my homework on Fudge Ripple. I
That's
just
it.
know that.
I've actually never heard of that one. That's why I'm asking. I've never heard of Fudge Ripple. That's brand new to
But
me.
I know that it's dank.
Oh, I'm sure. You wouldn't have brought it if it wasn't.
You ever coming out with your own strand?
When I start growing again, because I stopped growing, I used to work with growers, and I moved into a house with a smaller basement and didn't have the means to grow. So, also moving to Michigan, my body has changed. So now I'm really sensitive to the grow. If I brush up against a leaf in the grow, I'm like totally breaking out. And then sometimes, especially during the cut down, it really triggers the asthma, and I cannot breathe from the pollen. So I slowed down working in the grows because it's affecting me, being comfortable and being able to work. I end up in the damn emergency room. So I kind of slowed down on the growing tip, and I really just work with the growers to, meet the standards that I'm looking for. And I can tell all my customers from seed to finish where the product is grown, what it's grown with. If you ever have any issues, you ain't going to come to me because you ain't got no issues with my weed.
So one last question that we can be talking about this for days. How do one get their own strand? Say like if I wanted to, can you picture this strand? Like what do I got to do?
I would look for a grower who is in the scene of crossbreeding, or look for a breeder.
Okay.
And let them know that you want to create a strand. Tell them what you're looking for in terms of whether you're looking for a sweet taste or you're looking for a gassy, earthy tones. You let them know what your palate is, and then they will find the parent strains to breed. If it hasn't already been created, they can find the parent strains and create you a new one.
There you have it.
There you have it. I'm so happy you was here. For real. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for always being part of the Can You Picture This family.
Always. You see my shirt. It's still nice and beautiful.
Man, that quality control.
Quality control over here as well.
If you are looking for quality cannabis products, this is the people to talk to.
And Abcde, tell them how to get in touch with you.
Yeah.
Oh, so right now, you can always get in touch with us at 844 the plug.
The plug.
844 the plug.
Or we have a website that you can reach us at. It's a link page actually. If you text into 844 the plug, we'll send you the link with the full menu.
All right.
Or on Instagram, we are Cannaficionado. Canna_aficionado.
Spell it
You guys
for
know
him.
what a Cannaficionado is?
Spell it for him. Spell it for him.
Cannaficionado is CANNA_FICIONADA. NADO. Aficionado. An aficionado is not just a connoisseur. An aficionado is somebody who takes pleasure in their hobbies and things and are more knowledgeable than just a connoisseur. So therefore, we're can aficionados. Okay. If anybody ever asks you, say, "Oh, I'm a connoisseur," be like, "Shoot, I'm an aficionado. I'm a can aficionado." We a little bit better than a connoisseur.
Now is what you be calling yourself?
I was calling myself a cannabis connoisseur, but now I got it.
You're a can aficionado.
Herbivore is a connoisseur. No, it's a cannabis connoisseur or apparel. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Herbivore, I get it.
Yes. Thank you, Dick.
I get it. Herb, right? Hey.
Thank you. I'm so happy about that. All right. Thank you, Abcde.
We still call it herbs in Hawaii. That's why.
Do y'all?
They don't use that term out here. When I say herb, they're like, "What?"
Yeah, we gotta take a trip to Hawaii. That might be our next.
Is that the next one?
YPT vacation.
True, let me know.
Go over there and show us what to do.
Oh,
how
yeah.
to pick those plants and yeah.
For sure.
All right.
Boogie. Oh, what up?
In the CYPT podcast. You are listening to CYPT podcast. You are listening to CYPT podcast. CYPT podcast. CYPT podcast. You are listening to CYPT podcast.